Las Vegas is collapsing. At least, it seems that way. The number of tourists decreased by millions. The hotel room is empty. The airport is quiet. And every place, large headlines screamed, "Vegas is over. The city of sin is dying." But there's one thing most people don't see. Locals are still pouring money into casinos. Young people are coming to play more than ever. And behind those neon lights, quiet changes are reshaping the entire city. Yes, Vegas is changing. Whether for the better or worse is uncertain, but it's definitely not in the direction you think. This is no longer a city for tourists, but a city for corporations. It's no longer a place where people go for entertainment, but rather a place where you're invited into a game where the house always wins. Vegas didn't collapse. It just evolved to exploit you more sophisticatedly. And that's the real tragedy. Because when Vegas loses its soul, the only thing left is us, those who continue to bet on an outdated illusion. In today's video, join us as we explore how Las Vegas is changing, and why, even though the city hasn't collapsed, you are becoming the real victim of this sophisticated profit spiral. If you're a resident of Vegas, the most common thing you'll hear every day is probably that it's no longer worth it to visit. Once considered a paradise of joy, the city now makes visitors feel as if they are being fined for their very choices. You see a hotel room advertised for only $59 per night, a price that seems unbelievable. But when it came to the payment step, that number suddenly jumped to $140. And even the federal law now requires hotels to disclose all mandatory fees. It doesn't make anyone feel any better. It's like getting the bill at a restaurant, except this time you know exactly what you still owe. The resort fee, which used to be just $15 or $20, has quietly climbed to $50 to $65 at most major hotels. You can't refuse, even if you might never have set foot in a swimming pool, a gym, or used the Wi-Fi they call included. It's no longer a convenience, but an obligation. As if losing more money in Vegas is a given, part of the ritual everyone must perform when they step foot in this city of lights. Then there's parking fees, once a symbol of Vegas hospitality. Imagine driving with your family from California, eager to immerse yourself in the vibrant atmosphere of the Strip after hours on the highway. A few years ago, those open parking lots were like a red carpet welcoming visitors with the promise, "Come on down, Vegas always has room for you." All your experiences are valuable and full of joy. But now, just a few hours of parking can empty your wallet. The feeling of being welcomed that I once had is now gone, replaced by the cold sound of cash registers ringing in my head. And that list of surcharges hasn't stopped growing. Now, guests have to pay extra for early check-in, late checkout, restaurant table service, and even drinks. A small bottle of water in the minibar can cost up to 18 24s, and after taxes, over $26. A sarcastic tourist said, "For that price, I could catch my tears and drink them to quench my thirst." From Sin City, the captivating city of vice, Vegas is slowly becoming Fee City, a city of expensive surcharges, where every dollar is squeezed out of visitors' pockets. Even budget hotels that were once the pride of the working class, like Ellis Island or Tuscany Suites, known for being cheap and cheerful, are now quietly raising their prices. It's becoming increasingly rare to find places where you can simply pay for the room and be done with it. Vegas has become a maze where every experience comes with a bill. Many local residents shared in helplessness. Vegas isn't fun anymore, when everything is charged, even breathing. And the most bitter thing is, even after you pay off that mountain of fees, the experience still isn't worth it. Service, the soul of Vegas, which once set this city apart from anywhere else in America, is now slowly fading. MGM has eliminated concierge desks at 5 major hotels, including the MGM Grand and Mandalay Bay. Excalibur cuts, full-time housekeeping staff, porters, and valets. Guests must carry their own luggage or rent a trolley, a small detail that exposes the immense loss of the hospitality spirit that was once the pride of Vegas. Even new symbols, once expected to save the city, are struggling. Resorts. World, a billion-dollar resort that opened with dazzling fanfare, is now mired in crisis. Revenue for the first quarter of 2025 fell by 22%, and profits plummeted by as much as 75%. As for Fontainebleau, a project built with the ambition of recreating the golden age of Vegas, it's now as deserted as a ghost town. The gaming tables are empty, dealers have been cut, and the luxurious lights now only reflect emptiness. Las Vegas used to make everything easy, effortless, and now, even the most basic things have become optional. When every moment is commodified, is there any place left for middle-class Americans to feel truly alive like they used to? And if even Vegas, the place that once helped us forget our worries, now only reminds us of money, where else is there enough faith for us to regain a sense of worth? Vegas is changing the rules of the game, not just at the blackjack table, but throughout the entire money-making system of this city. Last June, Las Vegas lost over 400,000 tourists, a decrease of 11.3% compared to the same period last year. Including 2025, the city has lost over 1.5 million visitors. But the irony is, casino revenue on the Strip still reached $765 million, an increase of 1%. Reading those numbers again, we see clearly, fewer customers, but more money. Vegas is learning to make more from fewer people. Across the state of Nevada, casino revenue increased by over 3%, and notably, the big winners were not the glamorous corporations on the Strip, but rather casinos in residential areas and downtown. Vegas has created a new miracle, where magicians get rich and the audience gets smaller. The new game of this city is very simple. No need for more customers, just deeper exploitation of each individual. At a blackjack or craps table, the minimum bet increases quickly. $25 per hour tables are rare, and at night they can jump to $50. Most players don't realize that the payout odds are also changing, from 3.2 to 6.5, which means your chances of winning are nearly halved, while the house's profits double. This isn't the player's fault, it's the system's strategy. As traditional tourists gradually disappear, a new group of customers is taking their place: locals and young people under 35. Casino chains like Red Rock Resorts, Station, and Durango all reported record revenue in 49 years. They don't target big wallets, but rather habits and frequency. They understand their customers down to the smallest detail. Food discounts, free play, points for every card swipe, and most importantly, treating customers like gold. A local player said, "It's always crowded there. They remember your name, they ask about you sincerely. And on the Strip, you're just a number in the system." And it's in that simple sharing that we clearly see the transformation of Vegas, from a tourist destination to a personalized money-making machine, down to every behavior. But don't be mistaken. This isn't a revival, but a quiet restructuring. Vegas is divided into two worlds. On one side are tired tourists, coming less, spending less, and gradually losing interest. The other side consists of locals and young people, drawn into the profit-driven cycle programmed by algorithms. Welcome to the Algorithm Casino, where everything is calculated by data. The odds, the lighting, the sound, and even your emotions are optimized to ensure the house keeps more of every dollar you spend. Vegas doesn't need magic anymore. Now, all you need is an algorithm smarter than you. When every action, glance, and emotion of yours is calculated by the system to maximize profit. Are you still playing in the casino, or are you just becoming a part of their game? Old Vegas was a place where people challenged fate. You walk into the casino, draw a card, roll the dice, and in that moment, you feel in control. Whether you win or lose, at least you believe that fate is in your own hands. But today's Vegas is no longer like that. Now, The tables have turned. Vegas no longer changes to make you happy. It changes you to make you spend more. The old rules, where the feeling of winning was once the biggest draw, are now replaced by a new system, more sophisticated, colder, and more efficient. According to the 2025 tourism industry report, the number of visitors to Vegas decreased by over 11% compared to the same period last year. But casino revenue still increased slightly, reaching over $765 million just on the Strip. The obvious question: fewer people, but more money. How? The answer lies in a seemingly small number: the slot hold percentage, the percentage of money the casino keeps from the slot machines. This number increased from about 7.5% to 8.2%, which may not sound significant, but with billions of dollars in revenue each month, it's a huge cash cow. You don't know, you don't feel it. You just find yourself losing faster, playing shorter, but you don't understand why. Vegas understands that players don't need to win big. They just need to believe they're about to win. And when that mindset is programmed, you are no longer the better. You are data in a money-making algorithm. It's noteworthy that local casino areas are now winning even more than the Central Strip. Areas like Summerlin or Henderson attract many local residents. They don't come to go big, but to play regularly. The retention rate is higher, but operating costs are low, creating a new model: casinos for indigenous people. Vegas doesn't collapse, it just changes players. Millennials now make up nearly half of all visitors, while Gen Z accounts for about 10–15%, meaning over 60% of all visitors are under 45. But they didn't come to gamble. Statistics show that Gen Z spends only about $500–600 on gambling, compared to nearly $900 for Gen X. They came for the food, music, and experiences, things that could be shared online, not for the chance of a life-changing win at the gaming tables. Vegas understands that well, and has adapted faster than anywhere else. New casinos, like Resorts World, Circa, and El Cortez, are designed to cater to the social media generation. Video roulette, interactive slots, lounges with influencer-friendly lighting, bars with built-in game screens, and even phone betting, eliminating the need to touch real chips. Vegas no longer sells luck. It sells a virtual experience that could potentially go viral. Vegas is no longer a game, but an emotional economy, where everything, from the music to the lighting, is designed to keep you staying longer and spending more. The older generation used to come here to seek opportunities. The new generation comes here to buy the moment of being seen. And somewhere between those two worlds, Vegas keeps winning. Not because of luck, but because it understands human psychology better than any other city. Now, the game table isn't waiting for you to place your bet, because you are the game. If you still want to enjoy Vegas without getting caught in the system, choose transparent and reputable brands like Caesars Rewards or MGM Rewards, where you can track spending, set betting limits, and get real value back for every experience. Vegas can still be fun, if you're the one holding the last card. When all your emotions and behaviors are already predicted by algorithms, are you still playing? Or are you being played? And if Vegas is no longer a place to try your luck, but a place where the system tests you, is there anything truly random left in this game? Las Vegas today is not simply an entertainment city. It is a stage where everyone plays the lead role, but is unaware they are being directed. When you step onto the stage of the Strip, you think you're experiencing freedom. In reality, you are entering a system that is already divided, where half enjoy power and pleasure, and the other half becomes a tool for profit. On one side are the tourists, those who arrive with the hope of getting back to normal, of experiencing random moments and living a little faster. On the other side are the locals and service industry workers, the group caught between rising prices, reduced labor, and the feeling that Vegas is no longer for them. This division isn't obvious, but it's subtle. You don't realize which side you're on until you see your bill, or are saddened by the city you call home. Previously, service was the soul of Vegas. Now, service has become an expression of injustice. Fees are rising, amenities are being cut. And although the city still shines in the lights, laughter has become more distant in the suburbs. Hotel staff, bar servers, shuttle drivers, they hear all the time that Vegas is reviving. But that feeling of revival is only for a select few. The rest is the feeling of being surrounded by the sense that a system is turning for the benefit of those who don't see themselves. From a tourist perspective, everything seemed normal. The slots still clicked, the cocktails still poured, the neon still flashed. But behind that is a tiered game. When the number of guests decreases but revenue remains steady, it's clear the system doesn't need many people. It just needs the right people. And the right person isn't always you. When you enter your loyalty card code, you join a network that recognizes every visit, every purchase, every blink of an eye. You are no longer just a customer. You are data. On the part of the local people, that division is expressed differently. Families who once hoped for tourism to develop and stabilize the city. Today they see the hotel expanding and house prices rising, but they themselves could be replaced by temporary staff or by customer service representatives working remotely. Services expect loyalty, but the price is that you become invisible. You are a citizen, but you no longer feel welcome. Which side of this divide are you on? The invited guests or the collected data? If the system has already optimized itself to make you spend money without knowing why, do you still have the option to leave the table, or at least play while you're still in control? Vegas hasn't disappeared, but it no longer delivers on its old promises. The city that once promised you a life-changing night now has a fading breath. The high-rise hotels still stand, the show stages still burn, but beneath the surface, many signs indicate that the dream is no longer for the majority as it once was. Common are stories of migrant workers who have lived and worked in Vegas for decades, but now have to find somewhere else because of rising living costs and income that hasn't kept pace with the market. The city revived while many of its residents felt left behind. Only when the lights dim do people see the true cost. Grand projects are still springing up, but the number of international visitors and long-haul travelers is no longer increasing as rapidly as before. Vegas began to rely on the domestic market, depending on small-scale spending rather than big wins. The come-to-get-rich dream has been replaced by come to spend, to eat, to see, to live like a celebrity for a night, and then leave with nothing but a moment. So, as night falls, you're left with a grand emptiness. Restaurants and bars are still crowded, but they're no longer places where you play big, but rather where you experience quickly. The feeling of being proactive turns into the feeling of being serviced. And as entertainment became an industry, where the price of every second, every click, every step was calculated, the American dream in Vegas lost much of the randomness that made it so appealing. You don't go in to try your luck, you go in to live out a pre-written script. When you leave the hotel early in the morning and look back at the strip in the fading light, you feel, I paid for the lights, but all I have left are the images on my phone camera. The reality is, there are very few life-changing opportunities like the legendary stories Vegas used to tell. Most visitors come and go. Budgets are limited, time is short, and when they leave the city, they take away images, not deep experiences. Service staff, workers, and local businesses reminisce about the golden era of Vegas, when everything was cheap, services were plentiful, and customers were abundant, and feel the undeniable divide between the city for tourists and the city for business. If there's one thing in Vegas that's truly still there, is it opportunity or just the price to pay? When the lights go out and you no longer see your reflection in them, will you still want to believe that one night can change a life? So, who is really paying the price for the revival of Las Vegas? Not the casino owners, not the giant hotel corporations. The people who are truly bearing the cost are those behind the scenes, the workers, the local residents, and even the tourists who once believed Vegas was a place where everyone has a chance. In the past, a job at a hotel or casino was enough to support a family. Waiters, receptionists, stage technicians. They believe that working hard will be fine. But today, as Vegas shifts toward a profit maximization model, thousands of service workers are having their hours cut, replaced by automation or short-term contracts. Salaries haven't increased, while housing prices, utilities, and living expenses have been escalating every month. For many residents, the city that was once a source of pride now resembles another Vegas, glamorous for outsiders, harsh for those who stay. Casino corporations talk about efficiency, but the efficiency is calculated at the expense of human beings. Self-service replaces employee smiles, a cashless bar replaces tips, and promotions are transformed into a point system that gradually deducts points, leaving both workers and customers feeling suffocated by cold numbers. New surcharges, unclear price lists, and flexible policies touted as conveniences actually shift the burden onto consumers. And what about the tourists? They came to Vegas expecting to have a blast, but left feeling like they were just a cog in a system programmed to spend. From the rooms and meals to the games, everything is designed to keep you there longer, to make you believe you're in control, when in reality, you're being led. Vegas is still bright, but that light is no longer magical. It's the light of a perfectly functioning money-making machine. And so, while profits soared, Vegas split itself in two. On one side are the big winners, shareholders, investors, and management corporations. On the other side are tens of thousands of workers struggling to make ends meet in a city they once helped build. They paid the price with their time, health, and the belief that hard work will eventually pay off. Now, that sounds luxurious. Do you still have a choice in a game where everything is already priced? And if ordinary people themselves have to pay the price for someone else's dream, can that dream still be called the American dream? Vegas still shines brightly in the desert, but if you look closely, you'll see that the light is no longer for everyone. The tables still spin, the music still plays, the guests still take pictures, but somewhere, someone is straining to keep this dream alive. Workers are losing hours, residents are being pushed out of the center, and even the tourists who think they are enjoying themselves are actually being programmed to spend. This city never sleeps. It just extinguished the belief that anyone can win. Vegas didn't collapse overnight. It's slowly eroding, each time someone leaves with a lighter wallet and a little less faith. When joy is commodified and dreams are sold by the hour, is anyone truly living in this city? Or are we all just playing a pre-written role? And if you yourself, the ordinary person, the one who once believed in Vegas, are the one who pays the highest price, would you still dare to bet on the American dream? If you found this story thought-provoking, please like, share, and subscribe to continue exploring the hidden corners behind the bright lights of America with us. Because sometimes, the scariest thing isn't losing money, but losing faith in what we once believed was true. All content in this video is compiled from public sources, media reports, and reputable statistical data. The goal of the video is to analyze social and economic phenomena from an objective perspective, without attributing blame or accusing any individuals, organizations, or businesses. Data or details that have not been officially confirmed are presented in general terms to reflect trends and should not be considered absolute evidence. The video is reflective and exploratory, not intended for investment, judgment, or political action. All viewers are encouraged to verify information independently, consult additional reputable sources, and maintain an open mind when receiving content. the channel respects all stakeholders and is committed to conveying information as honestly, humanely, and balancedly as possible.